Welcome to TechSphere Podcast.
Yes.
Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into understanding semantic HTML tags.
That's right.
I'm super excited to talk about this with you.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's something that sometimes gets overlooked, but is absolutely crucial, I think, for building a better web.
Absolutely. And for all of you listeners out there, thanks so much for joining us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this episode with your friends.
Yeah, spread the word.
So let's get into this, I guess, first by understanding, what exactly are we talking about when we say semantic HTML?
Yeah, so imagine a website as a house.
Okay.
Right? You can use regular HTML to paint the walls and arrange the furniture, make it look pretty. Mm-hmm. But semantic HTML is like building the foundation and the framework.
Oh.
It's about giving each part of your website a clear purpose and meaning.
So it's not just about how it looks.
Exactly.
It's about what it is.
Yes, exactly.
Underneath.
About the underlying structure and meaning of the content.
Okay, so I like this analogy. I'm picturing my little website house.
Yeah.
Why is it so important to have this solid, semantically structured foundation?
3 key reasons.
Okay.
Accessibility, user experience, and SEO.
Okay.
Let's start with accessibility.
Yeah, let's break those down.
So a website built with semantic HTML is like a well-organized library with clear signs and labels.
Right.
So for someone using a screen reader, which is technology that reads web content aloud,
right,
semantic tags are like guideposts.
Oh.
They make navigation smooth and intuitive.
So it's not even just about making the website accessible to people.
It benefits everyone.
With disabilities.
Yeah, it's about making it better for everyone.
Right.
Because think about how frustrating it can be
Certainly.
when you land on a website.
It's a confusing website.
And you have no idea where to go.
Yes.
Semantic HTML helps create a clear structure that benefits all users. Right. And that brings us to user experience.
Okay.
So a well-structured website is simply easier to navigate and understand.
Yeah.
It's like walking into a store where everything is logically categorized.
Mm-hmm.
You find what you need quickly and effortlessly.
Makes sense.
And that leads to a more positive experience.
Yeah, and happy users are more likely to stick around.
Exactly.
Right, which is probably good for things like SEO.
You nailed it.
Okay.
Search engines like Google are constantly trying to understand what websites are about.
Right. They got to figure out what we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And semantic HTML gives them clear signals.
Uh-huh.
For example, content within an article tag signals that this is a standalone piece, like a blog post.
Right.
And that helps search engines categorize it.
Okay.
And potentially rank it higher.
So semantic HTML is
it's like a superpower.
A superpower.
That makes your website accessible.
Yes.
User-friendly and search engine-friendly.
All at the same time?
All at the same time.
That's amazing.
It's the secret ingredient that elevates your website.
I love it.
From good to great.
I'm ready to get into the nitty-gritty.
Okay.
I want to know,
let's do it.
What are the specific tags that make all this magic happen?
Let's start with the structural tags.
Okay.
These are the ones that build the framework of your website.
Yes.
Think of them as the blueprint for your online house.
I like it. I'm visualizing this blueprint.
Yeah.
What are some of the key structural tags that we need to know?
So first up is the header.
Okay.
This typically sits at the top of your web page and often contains elements like your logo, your website title, and the navigation menu.
Okay. So the welcoming front porch of our online house.
Yes.
Got it.
Then we have nav.
Okay.
Short for navigation.
Yeah.
This tag is specifically for navigation links.
Right.
Helping visitors easily find the way around your website.
Yeah, like the signposts guiding our users.
Exactly. Makes sense.
What about the main part of the website? The living room where all the content lives.
That's where the main tag comes in.
Okay.
This tag defines the dominant content of your web page, the stuff that's unique to that specific page.
Right.
It's the heart of your website, where you want to keep your visitors engaged.
Okay. And finally, every house needs a good foundation.
Yes.
What tag takes care of that on our website?
That would be the footer tag.
Okay.
As you might guess, it sits at the bottom of the page.
Yeah.
And typically contains elements like copyright information, contact details, and sometimes links to social media.
Makes sense.
It wraps up your website neatly.
Okay. I'm starting to get a good grasp, I think, of how these structural tags create the basic framework of a web page.
They're the bones of the website.
What about the tags that focus specifically on the text content?
So those are the text tags.
Okay.
And they're all about making your content readable, engaging, and meaningful.
Makes sense.
It's like adding furniture and decor
Right.
to make your website house inviting and functional.
I like it. Okay, let's talk text tags.
Okay.
Where do we begin?
The most basic one is P,
Okay.
the paragraph tag.
Uh-huh.
It groups sentences that belong together, making your text easier to read and digest on screen.
It's like giving your content room to breathe.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Now, just as we use emphasis when we speak,
Right.
we can do the same in our written content using the M and strong tags.
Those sound familiar.
Yes.
Those are the ones that make the text like italic and bold.
They do.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the visual appearance. It's about conveying meaning.
Yeah.
So M might highlight a key term
Okay.
or a word with a slightly different meaning in context, while strong is used for stronger emphasis,
Great.
like a crucial piece of information or a warning.
So it's like adding those subtle cues that help readers understand
Right.
what we're trying to say.
Yes.
What about headings?
Headings.
Yeah, they seem pretty important
They're crucial.
for organizing content.
Yes, for creating a clear hierarchy of information, like chapters in a book.
Right.
We use the tags H1 to H6,
Okay.
with H1 being the most important and H6 the least.
Yeah.
It's all about guiding the reader through the content
Makes sense.
in a logical and understandable way.
This is all making a lot of sense. I feel like I'm starting to see the web with new eyes.
That's great to hear.
Like I'm noticing all these
Yes.
semantic tags
You
everywhere.
start to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've only just scratched the surface.
Wait, there's more.
There's always more.
Oh my gosh.
But don't worry, we'll break it all down.
Okay.
In the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We'll explore best practices for using semantic HTML and dive into some advanced techniques that can really elevate your web development game.
Well, I am hooked. I cannot wait to learn more about these semantic HTML secrets.
Stay tuned. I will.
We'll be right back after a short break.
Okay. All right.
Sounds good.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Welcome back.
We are back.
I think before we delve deeper into the world of semantic HTML,
Yeah.
it's kind of fascinating to see how it's evolved over time.
You know, I love a good origin story.
Right.
Take me back to the beginning.
Okay, so in the early days of the web,
Okay.
HTML was primarily about presentation.
Okay.
It was like using a typewriter to create a visually appealing document.
Uh-huh.
You know, choosing fonts, colors, placement. Semantic meaning wasn't really a priority.
So it's all about making things look good.
Exactly.
Not necessarily about creating a well-structured document.
Precisely.
Okay.
But as the web grew, people realized the limitations of this approach. Websites became more complex.
Right.
And accessibility, ensuring that everyone could access content,
Yeah.
became a crucial concern.
Makes sense.
That's where semantic HTML stepped in.
So it was a shift from simply telling the browser how to display content
Yes.
to actually conveying the meaning behind it.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was a move toward a more meaningful and purposeful use of HTML, driven by the need for better accessibility
Right.
and the rise of search engines.
Right, because search engines needed a way to understand the content,
Absolutely.
to rank it effectively.
Yes. Semantic HTML provided those much-needed clues by using tags that describe the content's meaning. We made it easier for search engines to understand and index web pages accurately.
So a win-win for both users
It was a win-win
and search engines.
for both users and search engines.
Okay, I'm really starting to see the full picture here.
Good.
So how can we put this knowledge into practice?
Okay.
Can you give me some real-world examples of how semantic HTML is used
Sure.
to create different types of content?
So let's say you're creating a blog post.
Okay.
You could use the article tag to enclose the entire post, signaling to everyone, browsers, screen readers, search engines,
Yeah.
that this is a standalone piece of content.
So it's like saying, hey, this is a complete article that could stand on its own,
That's the idea.
like in a magazine.
Yes. Within the article, you might use header
Okay.
for the title and author information, P tags for the paragraphs of text,
Right.
and maybe even a block quote if you're quoting someone.
So it's like creating a mini structure
Precisely.
within the larger structure of the web page.
And this clear structure not only makes sense to human readers,
Right.
it also helps search engines understand the relationships between different pieces of content.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, now imagine you're building a product page
Okay.
for an e-commerce site.
Let's design that page
Okay.
using semantic HTML.
Again, you could use article for the overall product information.
Cool.
Inside, use header for the product name and a brief description, an image tag for the product image,
Right.
and then maybe a section
Okay.
for details like price, size, and color options.
So we're breaking down the content into logical chunks,
Right.
and each chunk has its own meaningful tag.
You could even use an aside tag
Yeah.
for things like related products or customer reviews, since that information is supplementary to the main product details.
This is making me look at websites in a whole new way.
Good.
I'm starting to notice how some sites feel so intuitive and easy to navigate,
Yeah,
while others are a jumbled mess.
right.
And I bet semantic HTML plays a big role in that.
Absolutely. Just by using the right tags,
Yeah.
you can transform a website from confusing to clear,
Right.
creating a much better experience for everyone.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of different tags.
We have.
Are there any that tend to trip people up or get misused?
Yes, one common point of confusion is the difference between article and section.
Yeah, I can see how those two might be easy to mix up.
Yeah. The key is this article is for self-contained content that could stand alone, like a blog post or a news article.
Okay.
Think of it as a complete unit of content
Right.
that you could share elsewhere without losing its meaning.
And section is more about grouping related content within a page.
Exactly.
Got it.
You might use section tags to divide a long blog post into subtopics,
Okay.
or to separate different sections of a landing page.
Okay, so article is like a complete chapter,
Yes.
and section is like a section within that chapter.
That's a great way to remember it.
I like it.
Another common mistake is using heading tags purely for styling purposes.
All right.
We talked about how heading tags H1 to H6
Yeah.
convey the hierarchy of information.
They're not just about making text bigger or bolder.
Exactly.
Yeah, they actually tell us how important that piece of content is.
Choosing the right heading tag based on the meaning, not just the look,
Right.
is crucial both for readability and for search engines understanding the structure of your content.
So it's like ensuring that your headings tell a story,
Precisely.
leading the reader through the content.
Yes, and that's why semantic HTML is such a powerful tool.
Yeah.
It's about creating a web that's not just visually appealing, but also meaningful and accessible.
This has been incredibly eye-opening.
Good, I'm glad.
I feel like I have a newfound understanding of how websites are structured
Yeah,
and how we can make them better for everyone.
and we're not done yet.
Wait, there's more.
In the final part of our deep dive,
Oh my gosh.
we'll explore some advanced semantic HTML techniques
Okay.
and discuss how to make sure you're using it effectively.
I can't wait. Let's dive back into the world of semantic HTML. Okay, we are back,
We are back.
and I am ready to unlock the advanced levels of semantic HTML.
Excellent. Let's start by exploring ARIA attributes,
Okay.
which are a powerful tool
What's
for
that?
enhancing accessibility.
Refresh my memory.
Yeah. ARIA stands for Accessible Rich Internet Applications.
Okay.
It's a set of attributes that you can add to HTML elements to give assistive technologies like screen readers more information.
So it's like adding like detailed instructions for screen readers to help them understand
Exactly.
complex elements.
Yes. For instance, you can use ARIA to indicate that a certain element is a tab panel
Okay.
or that a button reveals hidden content. It's like providing a behind-the-scenes guide to your website's functionality.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So ARIA works alongside semantic HTML,
Precisely.
making it even more accessible.
It enhances the semantic structure.
Got it.
It doesn't replace it.
Okay, but ARIA can be complex,
It can be.
so use it correctly
Yes.
and when truly necessary.
Absolutely. Are there any resources that we can point people to?
Yeah. Are there resources to help us learn more about ARIA?
The W3C, the organization behind web standards, offers excellent documentation on ARIA.
Okay.
And there are many tutorials and articles online.
Awesome.
Yeah, just remember, start small. Focus on the most common attributes.
Right.
And always test your code
Right.
with assistive technologies to ensure it works as intended.
Testing is a good reminder. We've talked about how semantic HTML benefits SEO,
Yes.
but how can we leverage it to really boost those search engine rankings?
Enter schema markup,
Schema markup.
a way to provide search engines
Okay.
with explicit clues about your content's meaning.
Sounds a bit technical. Break it down for me.
Yeah, think of it as adding tags and labels that tell search engines, hey, this is a recipe,
Okay.
or this is a product review. It's like giving them a detailed summary of what your web page is all about.
Yeah, so it's like speaking their language
You got it.
to help them better understand and rank our content.
Schema markup uses a standardized vocabulary that search engines recognize,
Okay.
which helps them index and categorize your content more effectively.
Mm-hmm.
This can lead to higher rankings and richer search results,
Okay.
the kind that include extra information like star ratings or event dates.
So schema markup is like the secret weapon
Exactly.
for leveling up our SEO game.
While it can be a bit technical, there are tools and plugins available to help generate the code.
Okay.
And the potential benefits for your search rankings
Right.
make it well worth exploring.
All this talk about benefits has me wondering,
Yeah.
are there any downsides or potential pitfalls to watch out for with semantic HTML?
It's important to remember that semantic HTML is not a magic solution.
Okay.
It won't automatically fix all your website's problems or guarantee top rankings.
It's one piece of the puzzle.
It's one piece of a larger puzzle.
You still need great content, a user-friendly design, and a solid marketing strategy.
Absolutely. Semantic HTML lays a strong foundation,
Hmm.
but you still need to build upon it
Right.
with other best practices.
Right.
Another potential pitfall is using semantic HTML incorrectly,
Okay.
which can do more harm than good.
What kind of mistakes should we avoid?
Using the wrong tag for the wrong purpose
Okay.
can confuse search engines and assistive technologies.
Hmm.
For example, using the article tag for a sidebar widget wouldn't make semantic sense.
Right.
It's crucial to choose tags that accurately reflect the meaning of your content.
So it's like wearing a swimsuit to a formal dinner.
Perfect analogy.
Technically clothing,
Yes.
but not the right choice for the occasion.
Another common mistake is overusing div tags.
Right.
We touched on this before, but it's worth repeating. If you're relying heavily on div tags,
Yeah.
you're missing the opportunity to add more specific semantic meaning to your code.
It's like writing a story where every sentence is just something happened. It's grammatically correct,
Yes.
but it lacks detail and depth.
Challenge yourself to use more specific semantic tags whenever possible.
Challenge accepted. So how can we be sure we're using semantic HTML correctly?
Well,
Are there ways to test our work?
testing is crucial. To ensure your semantic HTML is working as intended,
Okay.
both for users and for assistive technologies, one simple method is using a validator tool.
A validator tool.
It's like a grammar checker for your HTML code. These tools scan your code for errors and warnings, including semantic errors like using the wrong tag in the wrong place.
That sounds incredibly helpful. Where can we find these validator tools?
The W3C offers an excellent free validator, and many others are available online.
Awesome.
For accessibility testing, try navigating your website using only your keyboard.
Okay.
This can reveal areas where the focus order is illogical or interactive elements are difficult to reach.
Good point. It's like putting ourselves in the shoes of someone who might be
Exactly.
navigating the web differently.
And of course, using screen readers to test your website is essential.
Yeah.
There are several free and paid screen reader applications available, and it's best to test with a variety of them to ensure accessibility for a wide range of users.
This deep dive into semantic HTML has been incredible.
It has been a journey.
I feel equipped with a whole new set of tools and knowledge to build better websites.
Me too. It's amazing how these seemingly small details
Right.
can have such a huge impact on the quality and accessibility of the web.
To our listeners, we encourage you to embrace the power of semantic HTML.
Yes,
It might seem like an extra step,
Yeah.
but it's a step towards creating a more inclusive
absolutely.
and user-friendly web for everyone.
It's about building a web that's not only visually appealing,
Yeah.
but also meaningful, accessible, and truly enjoyable to use.
And on that note, we'd like to wrap up this episode of the TechSphere podcast.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into semantic HTML.
We hope you've gained valuable insights that you can apply to your own web development projects.
If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel,
Yes.
and share it with your friends and colleagues.
We're passionate about making the web a better place.
Yes.
And we believe semantic HTML is a key part of that mission.
Until next time, happy coding.
Happy coding.